Good day, everyone. Happy Friday to you all. Today, we're going to hop into two Best Ball Mania drafts. This will be my third live stream of me streaming my Best Ball Mania drafts. I go by the Red Badger. Looking forward to today and how this draft room goes. I didn't hop into a room just yet. I wanted to announce a few things. Once we hit 500 subscribers, I will have a giveaway of Madden 27. Doesn't matter if you're the first subscriber or the 500th subscriber, you still have the same opportunity to get a copy of Madden 27. The second milestone, if we reach 1,000 subscribers, I will have a $200 cash giveaway. And once again, that doesn't matter if you are the first subscriber or the 1,000th subscriber. And finally, up in the air, I'll leave that to later. We'll see if we reach these first two milestones by the start of the season. I plan an even bigger giveaway afterwards. So we are going to hop into a Best Ball Mania draft. As you see, I only have 43 left. I've been kind of busy, and it took me a while to get my setup and my laptop and actually figure out how to use StreamYard and go live and share my drafts online with you folks. So this is my third time doing this so far, and we're going to get better along the way, and I hope that you will all come along with me for this journey. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I know without y'all, it's not even going to be possible, and I promise I'm going to remain consistent. I will just have to space out my remaining Best Ball Mania drafts. This will actually be my first year potentially maxing Best Ball Mania. I did already max the first puppy that dropped. And this is my first year of doing any pre-NFL draft best ball drafts, the big boards or the little boards. So my preference, I know some people say that draft times do not matter. It's really the same. Times that I do not like drafting is between 7 p.m. and midnight. You get too much going on, in my opinion, with those drafters. I don't know if everyone knows what they're doing. You get players reaching for people, grabbing quarterbacks without even having, any form of stacks on their teams. A lot of snipage. I'm not a first thing in the morning dude, so it takes me a while to get this engine rolling. So my ideal time to draft, per se, is anywhere from noon to 3 p.m. I think that you get your best draft rooms during that time, in my opinion. So without further ado, we will enter into a BBM draft, and I will continue to announce, the giveaways at certain milestones in case you didn't catch that early in the beginning of this first draft. So let me move over here and select and get us entered into this BBM draft. Okay, see where we're at. Kind of use my phone as a way to queue up my players. We have two more to start. Feel free to hop in if you're out here, if you're lingering. If you come across this along your YouTube journey for today, would love to draft with you folks. Would love for you to tune in and see where my head's at when it comes to these drafts. Um, I don't have any draft extensions, but I do have what I call the side chick. So anytime that I'm up in the air about a pick, I just say, "Hey, babe, who you think I should go with?" And she lets me know. So that's the side chick. She's not my main, so kind of going off the limb, even announcing her to y'all. Um, we have the 8th pick in this draft. Not seeing any names that I know offhand. It looks like we only have one person who doesn't have a badge picking at number 7. So let's see what we do from the 8th spot. I have an idea of the players that fall in that range, but we'll see how this board actually shakes up. Jahmyr Gibbs goes off the board, followed by Bijan, Jamar Chase. So it's been a standard start so far. Puka, and if JSN goes off, it's a typical start to most best ball mania drafts. Oh well, there's a change. St. Brown goes off the board at pick 6. So someone's looking to change up a little bit. For the most part, you get seeing for the most part mainly the same players going at the same picks. So it gets interesting when somebody decides to change it up a little bit and see what they do in the second round. Okay, so Jonathan Taylor goes off the board. Where I'm at right now, I think that I am going to take the chance on. We'll go Lamb. We'll go CD Lamb. It was a toss up right there between for me between him and Jefferson. Like I said yesterday on yesterday's stream, that I think Justin Jefferson is a great bounce back candidate with better quarterback play. So he goes off the board at number 10, followed by James Cook. Saquon Barkley goes off the board. Followed by Ashton Genty. Chase Brown goes to the Jefferson drafter. We're coming up here in one pick. Hampton's off the board. So do I want to go with A-Chain or do I want to go with Walker? Let's go with Devon A-Chan. I didn't see that Big Dog went off the board at number 13. I was looking to see him on there, and he wasn't there, so I missed that one. So that's interesting. Derrick Henry getting pulled up to the 1-2 turn. Kenneth Walker goes off the board to the JT drafter. JSN drafter selects Brock Bowers. Still hard for me getting on board with going tight end in the first 2 to 3 rounds. Drake London goes off the board. A.J. Brown goes off the board. So the St. Brown drafter, he takes A.J. Brown, but I don't know. We'll see what he does. Jeremiah Love goes off the board to the Bijan drafter. So what do you go? You go Nico and who else? Trey McBride. So that's a common start. Most of these players, most of these teams that draft the first or second pick, they're going to have similar builds compared to the rest of the field, just because of that's who's been available. She Rice goes off the board, so that's 3 straight receivers for the Puka drafter. Another 3 straight receiver team here with the selection of Olave. We're up in 1 pick. Kyron Williams goes off the board. So we're going to select Malik Neighbors due to the matchup with the Giants and Dallas week 17. If you remember, prior to the injury news and everything, Malik Neighbors was heavily being drafted in the 2nd round. So people are worried and leery about the knee injury, which is understandable. Josh Allen goes off the board. Would have been nice for him to fall back, but there was no way. Well, there's a possibility. I've gotten him to fall back to me at pick 40 in a similar build, but the chances of him coming all the way back to 41 were slim to none. So T. Higgins goes off the board. So this guy goes pretty running back heavy. I mean, he's got 3 workhorses potentially. Tedero McMillan goes off to the Josh Allen drafter. So here we are on the board, and at this point, I think that I'm going to pull him up some. Terry McLaurin gives us our 3rd receiver. Lad McConkey goes off the board. Followed by Garrett Wilson. I thought about Garrett Wilson. I mean, he had the higher ADP. I just don't like his quarterback situation as much as a player like McLaurin or even a Devontae Adams. Cam Scatterbull goes off the board, followed by Luther Burden. So Burden's fell, but Loveland went before him. So J-Mo. The best other receiver available, in my opinion, is Adams. What does he do here? He goes with Travion Henderson to give him his 2nd RB. Christian Watson gets pulled up. Carnell Tate gets pulled up. So they're making some changes. Here goes Bayshell Tootin, followed by David Montgomery, giving this team their 1st running back. So both of these teams got their 1st running back here in round 5. See what the JSN drafter does here. He takes DeAndre Swift. Would have been a nice pick for us if he came back to us. Okay, with Adams off the board, I think my selection is going to be Bucky Irving to give me my second running back. And I still have outs with Dak Prescott and Jackson Dart. So I didn't mind taking the running back there. I wouldn't have liked pulling up a running back in the 6th round. Okay, you have Burrow off the board. Get this down. So followed by Rome Odunze, Tyler Warren, and we do get our quarterback here in Jaden Daniels. So we were able to stack McLaurin with elite quarterback in Jaden Daniels without pulling Jaden Daniels up to the 5th round to guarantee that you got the stack. Sometimes you will get sniped. For instance, the team over here that went with Josh Allen as well as Lamar, he didn't even take him. So yeah, Flowers was off the board. So he has both of his quarterbacks unstacked. Caleb Williams goes off the board to the Burden drafter. Quentin Johnson goes off the board. Followed by Alec Pierce, who still has question marks with having to get ankle surgery this offseason and still not participating on-field activities. Not to mention he's a big play receiver with a quarterback coming off an Achilles tear in Daniel Jones. As I said before, that team started to figure out the Colts prior to Daniel. Justin Herbert goes off the board. So with us having CeeDee Lamb, we are going to also select Dak Prescott. I know I could have took Chuba Hubbard, but this gives me another QB stack with my receivers. And we're up in 7 picks. So we have CeeDee Lamb stacked with Dak Prescott, and we have Terry McLaurin stacked with Jaden Daniels. Brock Purdy goes off the board. We do need another running back. So let us select Kyle Monangai. I know him and Bucky both have a week 10 bye, but let's say I was to wait for a running back in the next round, in the 9th. The running backs that would be coming back on that side of the board, I wouldn't really care for too many of them. I mean, Rashard White was fine when he was going in round 11, But now that he's gotten pulled up to the end of round 9, the beginning of 10, I'm not liking it. Um, Dobbins would fall there. Jonathan Brooks would fall there now. Both of them, look how far they're getting pulled up. Um, I know there's the upside there with Jonathan Brooks, being that he's young and could possibly return from the injuries that he's has suffered over his career. But I don't necessarily want to be the one to taking that chance if I can get a safer option before him or after him. Xavier Worthy goes off the board, followed by Bo Nix. Jared Goff goes off the board to the St. Brown drafter. Downs is off the board. We will be selecting next. Stafford goes off the board. So as of right now, we could go Jacoby. We're going to go Harold Fannin. I'm going to let Myers slide. I know that he was the bring back with Washington in week 17. But that's fine. I've had him stacked up on other teams. So most likely the Trevor Lawrence drafter that already has BTJ will happily take Jacoby Myers. No, he passes on him. Well, he goes in the very next pick. We're up in one pick. And I guess interesting. Rashard White, or do we just want to get our tight end? You know what? We will just take Kyle Pitts. I mean, I probably should have went running back, more receiver, but I feel confident having two solid options at tight end. Oh, but I messed up, so I gotta eat this one because they both have a week 11 bye. So I should have been paying more attention to that rather than the fall, forgetting that they both do share a week 11 bye. So maybe Rashard White was the play. It is what it is. I still like having three tight ends regardless. That's my preference over having just two. With the exception if I do decide to take a elite tight end like Bowers or McBride. Travis Kelce goes off the board. Jaden Higgins. Jalen Coker. That's interesting, him getting pulled up to the early 10th. I mean, earlier, probably about in the month of May, he might have been going in this range. But more recently than anything, he's been going in the 12th round. It's my pick. We're on the board. We will happily select Aaron Jones because we do need help at the running back position. Stephon Diggs goes off the board. Rashid Shaheed. Jordan Mason goes off the board. We're up in 4 picks. After we make this selection, I will show you my team so far. Right now, we have 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 3 receivers, and 2 tight ends. So ideally, I'm going to select Travis Hunter as my bringback for the Commanders' Week 17 matchup with Jacksonville. Earlier, I could have selected Jacoby Myers, but I knew there was a good potential that we would be able to at least get a bring back with Travis Hunter, who was the number 2 overall pick. Regardless of his perceived volume and touches on offense, where he's being drafted now, it's worth taking a flyer. And a lot of people took advantage of it when he was going even further back in drafts. Jonah Coleman goes off the board. So that's why I'm happy that we were able to land Aaron Jones. Denzel Boston goes off the board. I would have loved for him to been able to add him to the receiver room, which was another reason I'm happy that we did at least get a receiver in Travis Hunter. I believe our best bet right now is to take another receiver. Let's take Jalen Naylor. I know I could have stacked him with Antonio Williams, but if I'm going to take Antonio Williams, especially with the potential additions of Stephon Diggs and or Brandon Ayuk, I'd rather get him 171, 172, 173, that round of a selection. So at least Naylor got some form of a decent contract this offseason with the Raiders. Tesla off the board. Okay, we will select Zach Charbonnet as our 5th and most likely final running back. So let me show you the team so far. We have Jaden Daniels stacked with Terry McLaurin. We have CeeDee Lamb and Prescott stacked together. At running back, we have Devon Achane, Bucky Irvin, Kyle Monangai, Aaron Jones, and Zach Charbonnet. At receiver, we have CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Travis Hunter, and Jalen Naylor. And at tight end, we have Harold Fannin and Kyle Pitts. We're up in 2 picks. Uh, let's go with Mr. Debo Samuel. He gives us another receiver. Now we have 2 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 6 receivers, and 2 tight ends. Our next pick is 185. Calvin Ridley goes off the board. Malik Washington, Terrence Ferguson, followed by Jeremy Bernard. This point in the draft, we are going to take an upside swing at the tight end position, and we will select Eli Stowers and bring him up. He has a week 10 bye. So with losing Kyle Pitts and Harold Fannin, both to a week 11 bye, by week 11, Eli Stowers should have ingrained himself into the Philadelphia offense. So he has potential to score me points while both of those tight ends are not available for my team. And also, like I said, it gives me a high upside swing on a talent. And obviously now we are done drafting tight end as well. So we will be looking at wide receiver with our last 2 selections in this particular draft. So I'm queuing up a few players that I don't mind drafting or taking a late round flyer on. We'll also incorporate some potential rookies with upside. Yeah, that should be enough players to look through. Jordan James, Emmett Johnson, Sean Tucker off the board. Ray Davis is off the board. Okay. Interesting. We're now going to select another quarterback. And as much as I said we were done at running back, I will throw in Mike Washington here. And we will still select a receiver with our last pick. But being that we only are drafting 2 quarterbacks because of the capital that I invested in Jaden Daniels as well as Dak Prescott, it afforded us the ability to take another running back and give us 6 RBs. So we will have a 2673 build with this particular BBM draft, which I'm okay with, because if you do take an elite quarterback, you should be limiting yourself to two quarterbacks rather than taking a third at any point in the draft. I like my receivers enough to potentially take a upside swing on a player, but with that player, there's no guarantee that he will play. So we will settle for a rookie with upside and Chris Brazzle as our final pick and give us our seventh receiver. So let's recap this team real quick. We have Jaden Daniels and Dak Prescott at quarterback, Devon Achan, Bucky Irvin, Kyle Monangai, and Aaron Jones, Zach Charbonnet and Mike Washington at running back. And at receiver, we have CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Travis Hunter, Jalen Naylor, Deebo Samuel, and Chris Brazzle. And at tight end, we have Harold Fannin, Kyle Pitts, and Eli Stowers. So that will wrap up this draft right here. And we will get ready to enter another BBM draft, everyone. So once again, I also wanted to re-announce that once we hit 500 subscribers, I will be giving away a copy of Madden 27. When we reach 1,000 subscribers, I will have a $200 cash giveaway. And our third milestone, I will announce as we progress the first two. Got to get through the first two before I can announce the third. But as of now, once we hit 500, I will give away a copy of Madden 27. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will have a $200 cash giveaway. So all you got to do is like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that, whenever I do go live, you're able to catch the video. Even if you don't catch it live, watch it, whenever you get a moment, get the opportunity. I appreciate you all. I appreciate the people who haven't even became subscribers yet, but I have a feeling you will. So we're going to hop into another BBM draft. This will be my second and final draft for today. And then we will start fresh Monday through Friday with a mixture of BBM drafts and whatever potential other drafts might be available we might be interested in getting into. So enter, confirm. We have 6 more spaces available. If any of y'all would like to hop in, you have your opportunity. Let's see what draft selection we get. And then we still have 8 more to start. So there's time, baby. Hop on in. Draft better than me. Let me see you draft the Cannon squad so I can give you credit for your team. I'm just trying to keep up with you guys. You ready, side chick? I'm ready, boo. Okay. Hey, side chick, can you give me a drink before this draft starts? No problem, baby. All right, appreciate you. That's the side chick. She got weave and extensions too. No, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. Pat Carane and sacrilegious draft assistant. I can't afford the flock fantasy assistant. So all I got is the side chick. Now I need you to keep it down when I'm drafting. I don't want no interruptions. Okay, baby. All right, appreciate you. Best investment I ever made, man, was the side chick. She don't give me the headaches like my main chick. I ain't gotta pay her bills. When I come to her crib, she got something cooked for me. When she comes over here, all she does is really help me, make my draft selections. Make sure that, I'm comfortable, I'm relaxed. I ain't got no tension. She takes care of all of that. Y'all gotta get y'all one. You get you a side chick, I'm pretty sure you will draft a lot better. 3 more to start. You don't need nobody pestering you when you had a long day. You just want to come home and draft a good team. And then your main chick, what's she doing? Nagging you. Oh, what you doing today? Oh, you gonna go draft that fantasy football stuff? You don't ever have time for me. You ain't gotta worry about that with the side chick. She don't complain. Nope. Rub your back. Telling you, man. Gotta get y'all a side chick. I had her write down every matchup for week 17 on a piece of paper. And then I had her tell me the teams that played each other. And if I thought it was a good matchup, I would just have her circle it. So, oh, I don't have it right in front of me to show you, but she did a pretty good job. One more to start. You ready, side chick? I'm ready, baby. Okay. Can we get one more contestant down to the Price is Right? We only got one more draft. We ain't gonna hold too much of your time. I know you just gotta warm up to me. Hell, I gotta warm up to y'all. My first draft, I was a little stiff. Wasn't really trying to, was too focused on not making a mistake. Because it's the computer aspect of it, this laptop aspect of it that gives me my most difficulty. I feel like, damn, I'm gonna mess up. I ain't got the proper presentation skills as far as knowing what I'm doing. Do I got the right camera angles? Do I got a microphone? I know what I do got right now. I got the 1.1. You know what that means? Jameer Gibbs, come on down, baby. Come on. Come on. I don't recognize any names in this room, but that's okay. Jabril, I might have seen in a draft room before. So this draft is about to kick off in 3 seconds. So here we go. And I selected Jameer Gibbs. Bijan Robinson goes off the board. Jamar Chase. Interesting to see what type of year Jamar Chase has if Joe Burrow does stay healthy the entire season. because he does have the potential to feed two receivers in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Puka Nakua goes off the board. JSN goes off the board. I think, in my opinion, out of these first round receivers, I honestly believe it's going to be someone like Puka or Justin Jefferson that might end up being the receiver one when it's all said and done for the 2026 season. St. Brown goes off the board. So you've had a run on receivers. The only one that's left that goes in the first round is Lamb. So he should be, yep, I knew he was coming off the board. CMC. There's a chance that CMC is stacked with maybe a player that he's not often stacked with him falling to the 10th pick. I know he's fallen to the 10th and 11th pick. I wonder if anyone has ever, I doubt it, but you never know in draft rooms if they was ever to land a fallen Jonathan Taylor as well as a CMC, like at the 12, 13, then back to back. I wonder, has that ever happened for any other drafters? Have any of y'all ever seen that in a draft room where people were able to draft them both? Interesting to see Love get pulled up that much. I do know that Arizona plays the Raiders week 17. CMC drafter takes Kenneth Walker. Lamb drafter takes Chase Brown. Marion Hampton goes off the board. Brock Bowers goes off the board. So how do y'all feel about taking tight end early? Do you like taking tight end early? Brock Bowers in the second round. Trey McBride early in the third. I know sometimes he's fallen to like pick 30, sometimes 31. Me personally, it's not my favorite. Now, that's an interesting start. The JSN drafter having Devon Achane fall to them, with Nico being pulled up, Bowers being selected where he has, Love being pulled up. It allowed Achane to drop to the JSN drafter, as well as Derrick Henry fall into the Puka drafter. Now, as I said, I have never had the opportunity of getting Jamar Chase and Derrick Henry. Some other people have, but I have never been fortunate enough to get that. Now, the Bijan drafter, most likely I know. And here's the issue. So many people have selected George Pickens with Jahmyr Gibbs that it doesn't give you a diverse enough start. So let me go Rashee Rice. Damn it. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? So I don't want to do the same thing as everybody else. I mean, that's going to be a blessing to this drafter being able to get A.J. Brown and Pickens. But that's not that rare because it was happening basically when A.J. Brown was going in the third round prior to the trade to New England. So rather than me keep going with a chalk start of Jahmyr Gibbs and Pickens like everybody else does, I wanted, I mean, I know people selected Neighbors there too, but more recently it's constantly been Pickens, falling right there. Now, yesterday I was able to get, I believe, Gibbs, Nico, and A.J. Brown, which I was fine with. Trey McBride goes off the board. So the number 4, he has alphas at every position. He has an alpha in Puka. If Derrick Henry remains the same Derrick Henry he's basically been, I know he struggled for the most part last year, but he also won people championships with that blow up, 45-point performance. So, and the year before that, he had 1,900 yards. He was just behind Saquon Barkley. Once Saquon Barkley rushed for 2,000 yards. So, it all depends on this offense. If Lamar chooses to pass more than he runs and allows Derrick Henry to just be the workhorse back that he was brought there to be, I think there was a little bit of division in between them and their touches. Lamar also getting frustrated with Derrick Henry fumbling in big moments. Javonte Williams and Tedero McMillan go off the board. So T-Mac is the number 12 spot's first receiver that they've taken off the board. Garrett Wilson. Now, Cincinnati plays Baltimore. The Jets play Minnesota. Interesting. This guy going 4 straight running backs. I mean, he's guaranteed to get points from 2 of them week in and week out. But it's putting him drastically behind in the receiver position when you could start 3 and flex 1. But who's to say that doesn't work? There is no clear cut. I guarantee that if you draft this way in specific, you're going to win. I mean, if anybody actually had that information, that data, and could guarantee it, then they'd win all the time. There wouldn't be different winners each and every year that may have had different bills. Now, there's been certain similarities in the winners as far as how many of each position they may have drafted in the first 10 rounds. What do you do? Okay, so my highest rated player right now is Terry McLaurin. And my second highest rated player is Davante Adams. So we did the reverse opposite of what the 12th spot did. Even more so. They went 3 running backs and a receiver. We went running back, and then it ended up going 4 straight receivers, which could or could not be a mistake. But once again, I'm also counting on Jahmyr Gibbs being my running back, whether 1 or 2 every week that he's playing outside of his bye week and God forsake injury. So I got 2 receivers that carry different uncertainties in their own neighbors, coming off of a knee injury and also having to have surgery once again on it to clean up some things, as well as Rashee Rice, the worry about him and his knee and how he would rehab in jail and prison. And I mean, he came out and he was running. So then you got your steady eddies just in case those 2 receivers do need some time to ramp up, and Terry McLaurin and Davante Adams. So I do like it. It just depends on how we're able to land the plane moving forward with the rest of this draft. Jordan Tyson goes off the board. So both rookies go to the 12th spot in the selections of Carnell Tate and Jordan Tyson. DJ Moore goes off the board. MHJ goes off the board. Tyler Warren goes off the board. Parker Washington. Jadarian Price. Quentin Johnson. Chuba Hubbard. DK Metcalf. And we are blessed to get Jaden Daniels fall to us all the way to pick 72. So this is a no-brainer selection for the team that we currently have. Rashee Rice, Malik Neighbors. So who would be our next best pick? We shouldn't go receiver. We should take Jaylen Warren at running back. And I am loving this start. To get Jaden Daniels at pick 72, five picks past ADP and stacked with Terry McLaurin, who you took, what's that, 3.3 picks past ADP, and you got 4 receivers and 2 running backs, and one of those running backs being Gibbs. Yeah, I like that start. It's beautiful. Now, once again, we got to land the plane and make sure that we're doing what we need to do. So let me get back to queuing up some of my players, because I like to be prepared when it comes around to making these selections. Now, I thought about bringing up Mahomes there just to have the stack with Rice, but it was also would have been the wrong decision to do, in my opinion, in the long run, because we needed running back help. Interesting, Caleb falling all the way to pick 83. 13, what is that? 12.4 picks past ADP. Dak falling to 85. Jalen Hurts also was a faller. Jalen Hurts fell 10 picks past ADP. So yeah, a lot of those quarterbacks falling that should have went much earlier. Now Dak, I've seen him fall around that range, mainly to the CD Lamb drafter if the Lamb drafter's drafting at pick 10. And I've seen Caleb fall till around pick 80 or so. But usually when he has fallen, that it hasn't been him and Hurts. It's usually one or the other. Most times, though, the Hurts drafter, the person that selects the Hurts drafter, is usually where I was drafting from the 1.1, and they tend to go Mekhi Lemon as well as Jalen Hurts. And Mekhi Lemon also fell all the way back down to the 12 spot, which was a pretty good fall for him as well. Michael Wilson goes off the board. So we are, in fact, able to still get Patrick Mahomes without reaching on him. And now we sit in a comfortable position right here of we can do almost anything. Do I want to go with Laporta? Do I want to go with Pierce? I think what we will do is we will go with Michael Pittman here at receiver as well. So that gives us 5 receivers. I wasn't high on taking J.K. Dobbins, Jonathan Brooks, or Kenny Gainwell there. Worthy had already went off the board. Laporta could have been a consideration. But I decided to go with receiver there. J.K. Dobbins goes off the board. Kyle Pitts goes off the board. Casey Concepcion goes off the board, followed by Brock Purdy. Matthew Golden goes off the board. Suppose here goes Jonathan Brooks. Jared Goff goes off the board. George Kittle goes off the board. Kenneth Gainwell goes off the board. Wan'Dale Robinson. Once again, I'm really happy with our start so far. We'll look over this team once we make our selection here. We're up in 3 more picks. Rashard White goes off the board. What is your move here, buddy? Jaden Higgins goes off the board. Romeo Doubs goes off the board. What does the Drake May drafter do? Okay, perfect. So we get the player that we were hoping to fall to us right here in Travis Kelce to give us our first tight end that's stacked with Rashee Rice and Patrick Mahomes. And then we also get another running back option in JCM. Not my favorite running back, but we did need another running back there with only having 2 through the first 11 rounds. Well, first 10 rounds prior to us making the selection at JCM. So let's review this team because I'm loving this start. At quarterback, we have Jaden Daniels and Patrick Mahomes. We have Jaden Daniels stacked with JCM and Terry McLaurin. And we have Patrick Mahomes stacked with Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. At running back, we have Jahmyr Gibbs, Jalen Warren, and JCM. At wide receiver, we have Rashee Rice, Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Devontae Adams, and Michael Pittman. And once again, at tight end, we have Kelce. So we'll most likely want to have a 3 tight end build with this team when it's all said and done, being that we didn't select the tight end earlier than the round 10 selection of Travis Kelce. But the fact that we did get Kelce stacked along with Patrick Mahomes and Rashee Rice, as well as Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels, without having to pull up Jaden Daniels and him falling to us where he fell to us. So, I mean, I've been having luck with y'all on these streams. So far, first draft, we got the 1.3. Yesterday, we got the 1.1. Today, we got the 1.1. Now, I know it's not going to be like this all the time, but we will take it each and every time that we get those opportunities. And we will try to make the most of our draft position and make sure that we don't fumble the bag. So let's get her done here. I haven't selected a specific time that I'm going to start going live. I know there's other content creators out here that choose or viewing at certain moments of your day. And, so I'm going to have to try to find the sweet spot for myself to get y'all to come in and, join us for some of our drafts. Hell, just even y'all participating and actually being even hop in the draft at the same time that I am goes a long way. The more experience, the more times that I'm able to draft these teams, the better off it's going to be for my overall experience as a drafter and somebody who's also competing at the same time. Okay, we're coming up on our pick here at 144. We have 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 5 receivers, and 1 tight end. So what do we do here? There's even the potential of us even taking a 3rd quarterback, but as of right now, I don't think that's necessary. So I will take the faller and Travis Hunter here. And Omar Cooper would have been a possibility, but I think we need running back help. And I will go with the selection of Jonah Coleman. Jonah Coleman will give us our 4th running back. Yeah, I could have selected Chig there. Maybe that would have been the right thing to do. But I also like the value of getting Travis Hunter, who plays Washington week 17. I don't have any Chargers. Kansas City plays the Chargers. Detroit plays Chicago, so I wasn't able to stack that atmosphere. Giants played at Dallas. I don't have any Dallas players. And the Rams play Tampa Bay. So really, this draft was more so about me taking the best player available, as well as being able to stack my quarterbacks with their top receiving options As of right now, I still consider the top receiving options in Kansas City Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. And then as for Washington, I still consider Terry McLaurin to be Jaden Daniels' number one target in this offense. So we'll see what comes to us when we're back on the board here. With our next pick being 168 and 169. Tajay Spear goes off the board. Flournoy goes off the board. Adonai Mitchell goes off the board. Zach Charbonnet goes off the board. And see, that was the other thing. There was no guarantee that I would take that Charbonnet would have fell back to me when we picked again at 168. Not to mention, though, even when you do take Zach Charbonnet, you got to keep in mind that there's a potential he doesn't return to November, the beginning of December. Tyler Algier goes off the board. Jerry Jeudy goes off the board. Isaiah Pacheco. So we're coming up here on two picks. As of now, we have a 2-4-6-1 build. Kenyon Sadiq comes off the board. Would have been nice had he fallen to us there. So right now, we will take Antonio Williams, and we will also take Dalton Schultz as our second tight end. Go lay down. So as of right now, we have Jaden Daniels stacked with Terry McLaurin and rookie Antonio Williams. We have Patrick Mahomes stacked with Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. Our running backs are Jahmyr Gibbs, Jaylen Warren, JCM, and Jonah Coleman. At receiver, we have Rice, Neighbors, McLaurin, Adams, Pittman, Travis Hunter, and rookie Antonio Williams. And at tight end, we have Travis Kelce and Dalton Schultz. We're up in 14 picks. Once again, I'm liking how this draft has gone so far. We were able to get a lot of the players that we would have liked for this specific build, as well as being able to stack our players with their quarterbacks, and also having the blessing of the 1.1. I mean, anytime you get the 1.1 to 1.2, you can't complain. You just need to say thank you for the odds rolling my way, and do your best to draft as good a team as you can. And we don't know what that answer is to this year. That solution could be anything. It could be going early running back, bully running back, 2 to 3 running backs with your first 3 picks. Maybe it is bully tight end. Maybe it is those who have gone out on the limb and took Brock Bowers and Trey McBride. Maybe it is bully QB where Josh Allen may have fell to between picks 38 and 40. And then you come behind that and take a Lamar Jackson or a Drake May, someone like that. Nick Singleton goes off the board. Alvin Kamara goes off the board. AJ Barner goes off the board. So, with our first selection, we are going to take our third and final tight end in Eli Stowers. And we will go with Mike Washington as our fifth running back. So right now we have a 2-5-7-3 build. We have Jaden Daniels and Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. At running back, we have Jahmyr Gibbs, Jalen Warren, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Jonah Coleman, and Mike Washington. At receiver, we have Rashee Rice, Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Devontae Adams, Michael Pittman, Travis Hunter, and rookie Antonio Williams. And at tight end, we have Travis Kelce, Dalton Schultz, and Eli Stowers. So we are done at tight end. We are done drafting running back. We are done drafting quarterback. The last position we most likely will take with our final pick will be a wide receiver. And we'll call it a day for these two BBM drafts that we did live today. Leave a comment. I will respond to any comments that may be left after the fact and give you my, inputs, my thoughts. Your feedback would totally be appreciated as well. And I also want to announce this again before this live stream ends. Once we hit 500 subscribers, I will have a giveaway of Madden 27. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will have a $200 cash giveaway. And the third milestone will be announced eventually and is still to be determined. So right now, let's focus on trying to reach these first two milestones, and I hope that you help me reach these two goals of mine of 500 subscribers as well as 1,000 subscribers. And it doesn't matter if you were the first or the last subscriber. Whoever was one of those subscribers within that time frame of each reaching those milestones will be eligible for the giveaway. We're coming up in 6 picks. James Conner goes off the board. Elijah Surratt. Chris Bell. If he does regain his health, he is probably one of the best receivers in this draft class. Chris Bell for Miami. Mike Gesicki. Okay. With our last pick, we will take a flyer on Mr. Tyreek Hill and see if he returns at all at this season. So, thank you all. Appreciate everyone. We're going to wrap this up for now. This is our final draft of the day. So, we will get out of here, and I will see you all on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. I hope you have a good time with your loved ones, your friends and family, and are able to unwind. And look forward to seeing you all on Monday. Peace out, the Red Badger, and enjoy your weekend, folks.